How's it going? This is Joe Intel, and today we're going to be taking a look at an unboxing of a bunch of Monoprice products, as well as these binaural mics from Sonic Presence. And so I figure I might as well just use these to do the unboxing. So what do I have here? I have the Monoprice. This is the Audition series. I have their floor standing speakers. I have the bookshelf versions, as well as the center channel, as well as something else from Monolith. Monoprice is the parent company. Monolith is Hobie's kind of a side project where he does all kinds of crazy stuff. They let him do all kinds of crazy stuff with audio, and almost everything that I've reviewed from Monolith and Monoprice has just been pretty awesome. So, quick disclosure, Monolith is a channel sponsor, so I'm allowed to say whatever I want, but just want to let you guys know. Down here I have the MTM-100, which is a desktop speaker, all powered, and I'm excited to see what that can do. I've seen some pictures of it, and it just looks outrageous. I'm going to try to do this with the binaural headset. These were sent to me by Sonic Presence, so it's kind of a double unboxing. I have the SP15s, which are binaural headphones that connect to your phone, and they've been pretty awesome. You guys might have heard some of my demos with them. But these are the Pro, and the difference is that these are XLR. So, you know, if you have an interface, that might give you a little bit better sound than plugging it directly into your phone, but we'll have to wait and see. So let's just go ahead and unbox this thing. SP15 Pro, let's see what you guys can do. All right, so I've already taken it out of the box, obviously, but let's just see what's in this case. Nice case, yeah. So here we go, we open it up, and we see the microphones, we see a quick start guide, and Russ, who's the president, we have his business card here. And he worked at Neumann for a long time. Neumann is known for some of the best mics in the world, so he knows a thing or two about microphones. So here we go, Sonic Presence, SP15 Pro, and we have the right and the left, as well as XLRs. Now I'm curious to see how long these cables are, but one thing I do notice is that these are Nutrix connectors, and if you don't know, Nutrix makes some of the best, well, pretty much they are the standard when it comes to XLR connections. And so you can take these apart, you can replace parts. Yeah, these are very good. I'm glad to see that they use those and they didn't cheap out on something else. So XLRs, one for the right, one for the left. Let's see how long these actually are. It's a nice fit in here, and a nice touch that they include the case. So let me go ahead and kind of unwind these. The wire here feels pretty solid. Feels like I'm not too worried about having to be overly careful with them. So the way these work is that it uses your binaural hearing, the way that you actually hear. So after I hook these up, you're going to want to use headphones and see if you can hear some of the spatial stuff that I'm doing with the boxes, things like that. So right now I'm using this mic, which is a nice mic also. So let's go ahead and put this on. The red is for the right side, black is for the left side. Kind of do that. You can put it around the back of the head if you want, but I'll keep it like this. And here's the connection. I will connect this to my Motu M2 that I have back here. Very nice interface. So let me see. This is left channel here. And the right channel. Boom. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think the gain may be a little bit more. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Now the tricky thing is I need to make sure that the gain is the same on both of these. Otherwise, the binaural stuff won't work very well. I'll just keep it in the middle. I'll boost it later, I guess. Testing, testing. All right, looks good. All right, so as of right now, you should probably try on some headphones if you want to get an idea of what this binaural thing's about. Right, left. So anyway, there it is. Let's go ahead and do the rest of this unboxing. Some of these things we have 2 of. So this looks like it is the bookshelf speaker. Yeah, bookshelf speaker, and this is, okay. So we don't need to do 2 of the same exact thing. Go ahead and put these aside. So the name on this is the Monoprice Audition B5 bookshelf speaker. Go ahead and bust out my trusty new knife. Right. You may hear my kids upstairs. That's part of the binaural experience here. Okay. All right, so what do we see here? Okay, nicely packaged. And the first thing we see is the grill. All right, so this is a very affordable speaker. I will show a link to this in the full video, but this looks almost exactly the same as the Encore B6, which are some of my favorite budget speakers, and I still use them in my home theater even though I have much more expensive speakers right now. So yeah, seems exactly the same but smaller. All right, so there's that. Go ahead and put this aside. And what do we have here? We have some little rubber feet in case you have this set up on a table. You don't want it to resonate, so it's handy that they included those. Kind of tough to, uh-oh, what's going on here? All right, so when I'm lifting this up, the speaker is actually here. Wow, pretty light. See the size of the speaker. Throw this box over here. How did that sound on the binaural mics? Okay. Start it this way. All right. So keep in mind, this is a very affordable budget speaker. And yet, they put it in this nice bag. Just a nice unboxing experience, which they definitely did not have to do. All right. And this is something that I've seen on almost every Monolith product, so I appreciate it. I like a nice unboxing experience. So here it is. Ready? This looks like, oh, this looks like it's the bottom. Okay. Turn it up like this. Here we go. And there it is. You guys are seeing it before me. All right. Wow. All right. That looks like just a mini version of the Encore B6. It is lighter, so rear ported as well. Looks like the same terminals on the back. This looks like about a 5-inch woofer. I haven't looked at all the specs on this, but the one thing that I noticed that is surprising is I thought the tweeter would be exactly the same, and this one looks like a smaller tweeter. It looks like a 3/4 of an inch, 0.75 inch tweeter. Whereas on the Encore series, it is a 1-inch. Now the waveguide looks about the same, and the fit and finish, about the same, except the Encore B6 had a gloss top. So that one is a little bit more expensive, but still, I'm excited to hear how these sound. So I plan on making a separate video for each of these speakers. So here we have the bookshelf. This is the Audition B5, 5-inch bookshelf. All right, let's see how it looks with the grill. I am liking that. There's a Monolith logo. I am hoping that these are just some easy to recommend speakers. Right? We can always use more affordable speakers. So let's see if these do the trick. Okay. Let's take a look at the center channel. I assume that it's pretty much the same, except for the fact that it will be an MTM mid-range tweeter, mid-range design. So let's take a look here. If you're wondering, this is a Civivi knife, and this is called a Tonto blade. I thought it just looked cool. All right. During the holidays, I was asking everybody, who needs something for me to open? I got a new knife. So came in handy for the holidays with all the boxes. All right, so here we go. This is the Audition. What is this one called? The C5 Center. that right? Yes. Audition C5 center. Again, same thing as we saw before. Here's the grill cover on it. All right, and these are using these, what do you call these? It's not a magnet that's holding it on. It's using these little pegs. That's fine. That's fine. Again, the feet. And let's see if I can get this out without damaging anything. Yes. All right, so here we are. Put that aside. All right. Same thing. Let's take a look at this. Audition C5 center. All right, so here it is. Yes, it's kind of what we expected, which is this was the bookshelf here, and then it has an extra woofer. Now, the thing about these is they're meant to be kind of put horizontally so that it'd fit under a TV, something like that. But what we found is Aaron from Aaron's Audio Corner, he has done measurements on these, and what the problem is as you go horizontally off axis, so this is on axis directly, when you go off axis, sometimes it doesn't sound so good off to the side. I actually have mine set up this way because I have an acoustic transparent screen. So if you can do that, that's a nice touch. Now, as far as specs here, are there any specs written on the back? No, so we'll have to look and refer to the website. So yeah, there it is. Two 5-inch woofers and a 3/4 inch, from what it looks like, tweeter. Very nice. I think I'm excited. I'm excited to see how these sound. Okay. And then we have here, I'm gonna guess it's called a T5. So I'm thinking it's gonna be a floor standard from this series using the 5-inch woofers. All right, cool. So a few things that I'm noticing on this as I open it up is that these have the grill that we'd expect, except this time it's even longer. All right, let's take a look at that. So yeah, there's the grill. Huh, interesting. Oh yeah, it doesn't have the Monolith logo, so that must be on the actual enclosure itself. So yeah, there's the grill. Okay, put that aside for a second. And here are the feet for it. All right, so that's nice. I was expecting, because it's a lower cost budget model, that, you know, maybe they excluded the feet, but no, they included feet. That's pretty cool. Very nice. So these are called outrigger feet. I've heard people refer to as that. And they just basically keep it a little bit more stable and make it so that it's not touching the actual surface. Now, I don't know if they have spikes or if they're all rubber here, but I guess we can find out. All right, so yeah, so these are rubber feet here. There they are. All right. So these have a pack of screws that you're going to use to attach these to the base. Put this aside for 1 second. Throw that over there. And let's not try to put our finger into a tweeter. Okay, so this is the back here. Gonna shimmy this out. It's not that it's overly heavy, it's just a little bit awkward. So let me get this out of here. Alright. Alright. One more undressing of a speaker. Alright, so here's the port. And I can already feel that there's a big port back here. And I think this is going to be a similar setup to the Encore T6 towers, where instead of a small port, they're going to use a bunch of drivers and use one big port. So let's see here. These are actually surprisingly manageable. Let's see. For towers, these already seem like a cute size. All right, so yeah, we have the screws here for those feet. There's that Monolith logo that I was expecting. And I'm holding it by that port. So look at that port and compare it to the port on the bookshelf. And you can see that they needed to use a bigger port for all the drivers that we're going to see in the front. Terminals are the same. They are a single set of terminals, so no biamping with these. On the T6, I believe they are dual binding posts, so if you wanted to do that. Biamping, you could. So how do these look? I am liking this size. Whoa, that was loud. These are a cute size. I like it. I like it. I like it. So what we have here are 3 of the 5-inch drivers. I believe this is probably going to be a 2.5 setup where, you know, maybe one of these is going to act like as a mid-range and the other 2 are going to act as a woofer. We'll have to wait and see. Same 0.75-inch tweeter here. I like this size. This is a cool size. It'll probably be a little higher because it'll have those feet, maybe by ½ an inch or so. But this really reminds me of the Pioneer FS52s. Those were some of my favorite floor standing speakers because, you know, you didn't need a stand. They were inexpensive. And I hope that these will take their place because they don't make those anymore. I like these. Let's see how it looks with the grill. Okay. Pop right on. That's a good looking little speaker. That's cute. I don't know. I might have to use these in the living room. These might be a certain way. Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. You go on a certain way, otherwise it doesn't fit properly. That is a handsome looking little speaker, and I like it. I like that a lot. Let's see how they sound though, because they can look good, but if they don't sound good, who cares? All right, so the one thing I would like to say is I wouldn't mind them so much with the grill off. A lot of times, you know, some certain speakers, they just don't look good without the grill on. But these don't look too bad. They're recessed. Yeah, they don't look horrible. I've seen some where this is actually the peg that sticks out. Don't like that. Anyway, this looks okay, and I am excited to test these out. So stay tuned. Put these aside. All right. I'm glad you're still with me. And let's just do this last crazy one. Whew. Oh, all right. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Here we go. All right, so this is, what is the name of this? I think it's the MTM-100. This I am scared to see. Yeah, I don't see where it is. But I think it's the MTM-100. Let's see again. I know, you're not supposed to cut towards you, but I feel like sometimes you have better control cutting towards you. You know what I mean? Sometimes this way, don't feel as in control. I guess you gotta figure it out for yourself. All right. Try not to cut too deep because we don't want to cut a speaker. Nice and easy. All right, so here we go. Last and final one. What do we have here? Oh my goodness. we have the manual. There's that manual. You can see a little bit better. We got the feet. These are a little bit different in that they're rounded, and 2 AAA batteries. So I'm assuming that this has a remote. All right. Put those aside. Oh man, what's in here? We have a power cable. So 2-prong. And we have the speakers themselves. Oh, what's down here? Hold on a second. Before we do the speakers. Cables. All right, so speaker cable. All right, speaker cable. And a 3.5 millimeter jack to RCA. Anything else? Yep, there is something. There's the remote that I was expecting. Just that basic remote here. It shows tone defeat. Pair for Bluetooth, I assume. Bass, treble, bass, and 0. Okay, and then choosing the source, volume, and mute. All right. Let us take a look at these speakers. Are you guys ready? I know I am. Here we go. Wow, nice finish right now. I can just tell you, I was not expecting this. Man, that is a nice finish. Why? It looks like a painted finish, first of all, but also it's a matte finish, so it's not glossy. Whoa, this thing looks crazy. Look at that. That looks like 2 4.5 inch woofers or mid-range drivers in an MTM design. So I said just before this that MTM this way is not so good, but this way is actually real good, right? Because you have some good off-axis performance this way, which is what's important for studio monitors. So that you have a 1-inch soft dome tweeter here inside of a grill, which I like because a lot of times desktop monitor speakers, you know, they don't have a actual grill here, but I'm always worried that somebody's going to go and poke out that tweeter. So the fact that it has its own built-in mesh grill, that's a nice touch. But what we have on the sides, whoa, this looks crazy. All right, on the sides here, this looks like a 5-inch passive radiator. I'm assuming they're passive, but yeah, 2 passive radiators on the side. My guess, I didn't look at the specs on this yet, but the point of that is that with monitors, you have the option of using a sealed enclosure, doesn't have as much bass. Or you can go with a ported enclosure, more bass, but sometimes you get a little bit of that port chuffing. Using 2 passive radiators is kind of the best of both worlds, where it acts kind of like a sealed enclosure in that you don't have port chuffing, but you have the extra bass extension from the passive radiators. Get off that. All right, so we have terminals on the back. I don't really like these terminals just right now, right off the bat. I'd prefer just even those plastic ones that we saw in here, just because I find that some of these smaller ones, sometimes they don't accept the bigger banana plugs. Kind of weird, but I don't know. I don't want to judge those quite yet because these are an active system, meaning they've included the wires, so they're kind of assuming that you're not going to need any other ones, but you know, we'll see. All right, so there's that. Here's a quick size comparison. Here's this and the Audition series. All right, there are the two. Okay. Yeah, man, look at this thing. That looks nuts. And this is the passive one here. So nothing on the back. Now this one is the active speaker here. And I can tell that this one has a little bit more heft to it. Not a huge amount, but a little bit more. And what do we see here? On the back, instead of just these two terminals, oh, that acts as a speaker out, cool. this is a plate amplifier here. So I hope they've applied some DSP, because that would be pretty cool. Digital inputs. Oh, this is awesome. USB-C. So I assume that you can just connect this directly to your computer. You don't have to have an interface. You don't have to have anything. Plug it directly in, and it just works as kind of the sound card feeding this digitally. That's cool. Optical in. Nice. We have analog inputs and a subwoofer output. All right. That is kind of cool. I like all that. All right. So your switch and the 2-prong connector. Very nice. So what? You know what? I just noticed something here. This is not just a square. This actually has, I got my handprints on here. This actually has a flared out shape on here. Wow. That is a nice touch. These look really cool. These look awesome. All right. So what do we see on the front? Man, I keep getting surprised with new stuff. So headphone out. I don't know how good it's going to be, but the fact that it has one is kind of useful. And here, your input selector, as well as a volume knob. So pressing it in will switch the inputs. So Bluetooth, USB, optical, RCA. Yeah. And then I assume this is some kind of LED indicator. Very nice. So the only thing left to do is to test these and see how they sound, but already, you can see that this is a different type of product and something that I am excited to try. So anyway, that is it. If you like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when I upload new videos, and stay tuned because I will be measuring these, reviewing them, and let's see what all this can do. Anyway, that's it. Take care. Bye-bye.